RedShark's NAB 2026 coverage is brought to you by...
Hey folks, how are you? This is Jason from the Adobe Premiere and After Effects team. We're here at NAB 2026. It's day one. The energy is palpable. The booth is pretty packed, and we are here with the largest release in Premiere history. We are introducing Color Mode, the first professional color grading system actually built and designed from the ground up for video editors. It is a complete reset, not only for what color is in Premiere, but what color can be for video editors. We created new systems and new ways to control color, to understand the feedback coming back from your tools, to organize and manage how color is flowing across your timeline. And these are not your granddad's color correction controls. It is all new, and this is a complete reset. Took us 3 years to build it. So we're gonna take a closer look and give a demo of Color Mode, but that isn't the only thing happening at NAB 2026. We also have all new Object Matte in After Effects 26.2. And this is very cool because when we came out with Object Mask in Premiere, all of the After Effects users came up to us and they were like, when is this hover and click magic coming to After Effects? I want to do things in After Effects that you can't do in Premiere, but I need to hover and click. So what we did is we took the artist formerly known as Roto Brush, 3 other tools, this new Object Matte tool, and we just really combined them into a new suite of AI-powered rotoscoping goodness that we call, Object Matte. And within Object Matte, in addition to the hover and click technology that you see in Premiere with Object Mask, there's 3 additional brushes. So when you're rotoscoping and you need that individual pixel level, fine hair refinement level, After Effects has you covered and you're gonna have the best time rotoscoping you've ever had. We're at the controls. We're gonna take a look at Color Mode. Hope you're ready. All right, so let's get started. You will find Color Mode in the upper left-hand corner of the app right next to Colors. Let's click into Color Mode, and here we are. We are in the system. So the first thing you're gonna notice is a huge program monitor. Whether you're on a 13-inch laptop or a very large monitor like we are right here, the image comes first always. We got the clip grid right here. This is a vertical representation of every single clip in your timeline. There's a lot I can do with the clip grid. I can turn off metadata. I can make them really big, make these really small. So let's make them small here. I can see every single clip in the timeline, pull this out, make it a little larger. There we go. So that's pretty cool. And then your color controls are down here. And listen, if you've been color grading and editing for a long time, don't let this simple user interface fool you. There's a lot of power and customization in here. What we simply did is took the fundamental color grading experience and we found a way to simplify the user interface without losing any capabilities of everything a video editor would need to do for core color correction and color grading. So let's color grade some clips real quick. I'll just, at the group level real quick, clip level, let's just go ahead and create some contrast real quick. You go ahead and move the location of my heads-up displays right here. I actually want this to be freeform, and I want this to be over here. Let's do contrast. As soon as I click on the tool, you're gonna notice a heads-up display pops up. The heads-up display is showing me the actual video scopes of the clip I'm currently editing, the numeric values of the tools I'm currently using, and this real-time animated overlays. This feedback actually helps me understand what I'm doing as I'm doing it. Almost every single control in Color Mode is bidirectional, meaning I can go up and down for contrast, and then left and right for the pivot of that contrast. So I have completely customized contrast through moving my mouse in 2 directions. And the HUD changes based on what tool you use. So if we have easy one saturation, I can see this blue circle going in and out around the vector scope. For temperature and tint, up and down for temp, left and right for tint. But and again, also the color shift tools. I can go ahead and highlight specific hues. Color Mode will automatically surface the most prominent hues in every single clip for you, so you don't gotta go hunting for a million little curve points. So let's shift the green right here, go to hue shift, make our selection a little bit larger, go left and right, move up and down to change the definition of what that green color is. You see that slice of pie moving up and down? It's actually helping me understand what I'm doing. And let me tell you, if you've been grading and editing for years, this HUD and these controls, they're gonna help you make faster, more nuanced, better creative decisions. And if you're new to pro color grading and pro editing, the system's actually gonna kind of help you learn how to be a better colorist as you work. All right, we also invented the world's first texture and sharpness heads-up display, so you don't gotta go going like this at the monitor every time you wanna add critical sharpness. We can see this map of how much we're adding to the image. But let's go ahead, let's jump straight into sequence styles here. What you're seeing right here, these are operations. Not nodes, not layers, a third new category of grade management and color effects. So I can color at the clip level, the sequence level, or the custom group level. Let's go ahead and add a sequence style. Styles are very similar to LUTs, except they're not. Problem with a LUT is it's a one-click cinematic filter that gets you where you're trying to go, but maybe a LUT can look like crap on half of your footage. It looks nice on one half of your footage. Either way, styles are new collections of these individual color effects that we call modules. Each one of these Lego blocks right here that I can collapse or open up. We have film color, contrast kit, color and contrast. Let's go over to color contrast real quick. Let's lower exposure. So what we're going to do now is create our own style from scratch. I'm going to go to style presets. Now I can pick a number of presets here that ship with Premiere. They're pre-graded collections of color modules. I'm just going to go straight to color style modules, and I'm going to add my own. I'm going to add film color, contrast kit, and flare. Let's go ahead and click done. So what we're going to do right now is add a sequence style to the whole timeline, right? I don't want to grade one clip at the same time. I want to grade every clip at the same time. So let's go to sequence style here. What I'm going to do is go to style presets, and I can choose between all of these presets I see here. I have cinematic high contrast, cinematic medium contrast. Let's go with cinematic medium contrast right there and click done. Now what you'll find is I just added 5 modules to my entire sequence, and they're all graded at the same time. So I can go to film color here, and I can choose between a number of real film stocks. We have over 90 film emulations that you can choose yourself. I'll increase the strength of the film stock. If and I'll also go over to color contrast here and increase the saturation of the film stock. I'll also go ahead and make it a little bit warmer and dustier. Then what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of shadow balance right here and a little bit of midtone production. I want a little bit more crunch in my midtones. So if I move my mouse up, down, left, right, I can achieve that. So the cool thing about strength here is obviously I move my mouse up and down, I can increase and decrease the strength of the film stock affecting my clip. Right now, Fuji Eterna 500 on the negative, Kodak 2383 for the print. Now here's where things get interesting. If I move my mouse all the way to the left, I'm going to keep the film color and lose the film contrast. If I move my mouse all the way to the right, I'm going to keep the film contrast and lose the film color. Now, my other favorite module is Contrast Kit. Contrast Kit allows you to make really, really subtle, nuanced contrast density curves throughout your shot. It really helps you make better, more authentic film emulations and way more advanced contrast curves than you're used to creating in other applications. But the thing about it is, I was a full-time colorist for like 10 years, and it legitimately took me like 5 years to actually understand how to make my own contrast density curves from scratch to the point where I could create it from scratch really quickly for a client. Now, every editor in the world has access to this ability. So let's use range also. We can see this is a really high contrasty shot right now. Let me go ahead and move my mouse down. And you see what I'm doing? I'm actually clamping the entire black point and white point of the entire shot together. And then as I move left and right, I can move the entire luminance range up and down. You know, when you see film, you're going to notice that there's a lot of contrast and a lot of density in the shadows and the highlights, but you know, you get a lower fall off in the highlights. So by doing this, I can really create my own custom film emulation here, and it looks really great. Last thing I'll do is I'll go to flare. This is a very advanced shadow control. I want to make sure I'm not clipping anything in the shadows. Add a little bit more saturation, a little bit more warmer balance. And what I'm going to do is actually save this style and just call it, let's just call it, what are we going to call it? Let's call it Jurassic Kodak, because it's reminding me of one of my favorite movies. There we go. And now every time I go to make a style, it's waiting for me. Last thing I want to show you, groups. Grading at the clip level, the sequence level, and the group level. So what I'm going to do is scroll down here. I got these nighttime clips right there. They didn't take the sequence style very well, no problem. Let's just go ahead and highlight all of them. What I'm going to do is go to my selection, add an adjustment to this selected clips. Now I have a custom group. Let's go ahead and name this, come on mouse, name this Dusk. We'll go to adjust to right here. Then what I'm going to do, let's just go over to exposure. Let's just raise the exposure a little bit. I'm going to go down to my shadow zone right here, or no, my highlight zone, and I'm going to take only the highlights, go to exposure, and now just bring down just the highlights to give me more of a nighttime look. I'm going to create my own shadow zone from scratch right here. Now I'm going to raise the exposure of the shadows just like that. And then I'm going to do one more zone at the tippy top of the highlights. I want to get this fire right here and just bring the fire down just a skosh, just a pinch. There, you see what I'm doing there? There we go. Cool. At the same time, let me go ahead and take the saturation of that fire bring it up a little bit. As you'll see, everything we just did affected every single clip in this group because we're grading the whole group at the same time. And here's the difference between operations and other systems out there. With layers, you have copy and paste attribute chaos. Tell me you've ever used Lumetri without accidentally copying and pasting like 6 or 7 Lumetri effects with deep-fried video. Tell me you've never had adjustment layer spaghetti where you can't tell what LUT is on which place and what LUT with what log format is applied to what adjustment layer for what clips, and having to mentally manage all of that. I'm sorry, it's absolutely insane. I know it's the way that we're used to working, but there's a new way of working now. So I can even take this clip adjustment, I can add another one right here, and if I kill the saturation and make this black and white, I can actually take this adjustment and drag and drop the operation of the sequence level. Now the whole timeline's black and white. You can copy and paste these, you can drag and drop these, and no matter where I am in the timeline, if I click on a clip, I have 100% confidence and clarity, every bit of color affecting the clip, at the clip level, at the group level, the sequence level. The cool thing about operations is they can host an adjustment, a style, or a LUT. So you want to add your creative LUT on the sequence, you throw that LUT on, tag the color space, tag the LUT, bring the intensity up and down, do whatever suits you, man. This is a really new way of working. I just showed you about 5% of the system. Last thing I want to show you is that, let me go ahead and redo this real quick. If I go back to edit mode, we added all of the core color controls, color and contrast and texture into the properties panel. So this is actually color mode, not Lumetri. I can make the shot warmer or cooler or less saturated. And if I go over to color mode, that adjustment is waiting for me. Oh, that's a public beta bug in the clip grid. What are you gonna do? That adjustment is waiting for me right there. So color mode is a really new way of working. All we're asking, give it a try, man. Give it a try. Have an experience. We made this in real time over the past 3 years, and for the past year and a half, we've been working with hundreds of real professional working editors. And many of them had heavy reluctances when they first saw the user experience and looked at the interface. And there was a lot of heavy reluctance. By the time we ended up wrapping private beta, there wasn't one user who wasn't absolutely in love with this new way of working. So try it out. You're probably gonna accidentally find something you like. And this is the new color mode. This is your new color experience in Premiere. It's available now in Premiere Beta. And we have so many training videos on YouTube, so many training videos on adobevideotraining.com, so many tutorial and support videos on the Adobe Care YouTube channel. Everything you need to learn this system is out there. So have fun, happy editing, happy grading, enjoy your new color grading tools.